Over the past 8 days, the president and his military surprised the world with strikes in Syria and then in Afghanistan. Is there a larger strategy behind those attacks, and could they be seen together in any way as a warning to Kim Jong-un? CNN's Athena Jones is live for us at the White House. And Athena, what are officials there saying?
Hi, Jake. This is interesting. The president was asked that very question about the bombing in Afghanistan, and his answer was, I don't know. I don't know if this sends a message to North Korea. He went on to say that it doesn't matter if it sends a message to North Korea or not. North Korea is a problem that will be taken care of. But as with any complex foreign policy challenge, that's easier said than done.
President Trump is spending Easter weekend with his family in Florida, where he was spotted today on the links at one of his golf clubs. Following the president to his Mar-a-Lago resort, rising tensions with North Korea. Asked if Thursday's bombing of ISIS targets in Afghanistan, the second significant show of force by the U.S. in a week, was meant to send a message to the rogue regime, the president would only say,
I don't know if this sends a message. It doesn't make any difference if it does or not. North Korea is a problem. The problem will be taken care of.
It's a thorny foreign policy challenge then candidate Trump foreshadowed last year.
If you look at North Korea, this guy, he's like a maniac. Okay? And you got to give him credit. This guy doesn't play games, and we can't play games with him because he really does have missiles, and he really does have nukes.
The president has been pushing China, North Korea's biggest trading partner, to help curb the nation's nuclear ambitions, and is trying to use a promised trade deal with the world's second largest economy as an inducement.
President Xi wants to do the right thing. We had a very good bonding. I think we had a very good chemistry together. I think he wants to help us with North Korea. And I said, the way you're going to make a good trade deal is to help us with North Korea. Otherwise, we're just going to go it alone.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson looked to put Pyongyang on notice during a trip to Asia last month.
The policy of strategic patience has ended.
But there are no easy solutions to the issue. Negotiations with North Korea in recent years broke down, in part because Kim Jong-un sees his country's nuclear program as necessary for the security of his regime. This weekend, the North is expected to celebrate the birthday of the country's founder with a military parade. And it could soon conduct its 6th nuclear test, experts say. And while the president takes to Twitter to blast the regime and prod China, tweeting Thursday, I have great confidence that China will properly deal with North Korea. If they are unable to do so, the U.S. with its allies will. USA. North Korea is responding. The country's vice foreign minister telling the Associated Press that Trump is always making provocations with his aggressive words. The back and forth comes as Vice President Pence will soon embark on an 11-day trip to the Asia-Pacific region. His first stop, South Korea. A senior administration official saying Thursday that military options with regard to North Korea would likely come up during Pence's visit.
So we're hearing some pretty ominous words from North Korea. That vice foreign minister also told the AP the country was ready to go to war. Meanwhile, China has consistently pushed for a peaceful solution to this issue. And a report in the Washington Post suggests that China may be stepping up the pressure. China has been turning away North Korea's coal ships from its ports since mid-February. And the Post cites an editorial in a semi-official Chinese publication that warns the North that unless it reins in its nuclear ambitions, China's oil shipments to the country could be, quote, severely limited. Jake?
Things are escalating. Athena Jones, thank you so much.